Are you feeling tired, bloated, achy? And you've heard it's because you're getting older? I disagree. It could be a hidden food intolerance. And your body is trying to warn you and has been trying to warn you for years. So I'm Christine Lunsford, women's wellness coach, author of Wrong Answer, where I talk about all the things that I have dealt with in my wellness journey. I am a speaker and I'm a mom of four fur babies. So today we're going to kind of dive into, I think it's one of the sneakiest causes of discomfort that I have seen in a lot of women, especially over 45. So what can you do to recognize the signs and what can you start doing today? So first of all, I want to be very clear. I am not a doctor. I am sharing with you my journey. And I also want to be very clear that a food intolerance is not a food allergy. So a food allergy is life-threatening. This is not what I'm talking about. Food intolerance, it can be delayed. It could be non-immune response. It could be inflammation. It could be digestion. It could be mood. It could be your skin. It could be your sleep. It could be your hormones. It could be, if you still have your period, it could be that. It could be a lot of things. It could aggravate a lot of things is probably a better way to put it. Aggravate. So, for example, dairy or gluten. Generally speaking, not an instant trigger if it's an intolerance. If you have allergy to it or you have celiac disease, it's usually pretty quick. You're going to know immediately and you won't do it. But a food intolerance is a little bit different. So food intolerance has a lot of unfortunately, it's kind of hard to nail down because basically any symptom you have, any symptom could be from the food. Bloating, gas, constipation, skin breakouts, rashes, puffiness, fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, mood swings. Yes, mood swings. Irritability, anxiety. Did you know that your anxiety could seriously be caused by the food that you're eating? Crazy, huh? Okay, so I'll give you a perfect example of how one of these started for me. I've got several running through my head. So, dairy. My sister and I were both single. One of my sisters and I were both single at the same time. Well, we decided because we're, crazy like this, that we started looking at different things because we found out that the two of us had so many similar health issues. Kind of crazy through our lives. And I went, okay. So we're reading and scanning. We didn't really read it. Eat right for your blood type. And it says type O blood should not have dairy. Okay, now I was the queen of dairy because, they say eat dairy, eat meat, eat vegetables. Eat dairy, eat meat, eat vegetables. This is good for you. Well, maybe. For some, yes. For some, not so much. So my refrigerator's full of dairy. I had kefir. I had Greek yogurt. I had high quality cheese. I had high quality ice cream. Okay, maybe not the best there, but the point was everything was quote unquote healthy. So my sister challenged me to give up dairy for 30 days. So I did. And I didn't have a migraine the entire time. I didn't notice it at the time, just to be clear. Did not notice. So after the 30 days, I ate a piece of cheese. Almost immediately, my nose started running and I started having a sinus headache. Interesting. I don't want to give up dairy. It's a fluke. So I did it again for a slightly shorter period this time. Same result. So long story short, I ended up giving up dairy. Fast forward a year after I did that, And I opened my medicine cabinet and saw my prescription for my allergy medicine. And I was like, well, that's odd. I know the leaves are coming out. Why haven't I needed this? So for me, dairy was a trigger for my seasonal allergies. It's a food intolerance. I'm about allergic to the dairy. And through the course of several years, I finally figured out what was in the dairy that was causing my reaction, which is the casein, which is the protein in my case. So it was symptoms that it's not that I was ignoring them. I wasn't ignoring my symptoms. I wasn't ignoring my seasonal allergies. I wasn't ignoring the fact that I had to take 3 medications for 6 to 8 weeks twice a year just to get through allergy season. I wasn't ignoring them. I was popping a pill to manage them because I didn't know that dairy was causing them. I didn't know my root cause. And lo and behold, ta-da! So, just because you're not dealing with it doesn't necessarily mean that you're ignoring it. So, that's why it's sometimes really hard to pinpoint food intolerance, because it may not show up hours later, days later. It may not show up until, okay, so for example, if I ate dairy today, I would have a little bit of a runny nose and probably a little bit of a sinus headache because I have completely emptied that bucket in my body. It's completely empty. And if I ate cheese, I might not have much of a reaction. So initially, I want to eat cheese. I might justify it by saying I am cured. No, I am not cured. I've just emptied the bucket. So then I eat cheese 5 days in a row and whoop, there you go. The bucket is now overflowing and now I'm having the symptoms. So that's why it is very hard sometimes to pinpoint food intolerance. And it's also very possible that it's a combination. So when I was a toddler, which was a few years ago, it took my mom forever to figure this out. I couldn't have oranges and tomatoes in the same day. Otherwise, I'd throw up. Like religiously. Mom's like, I don't understand why this child keeps throwing up. And once she figured it out, it was pretty easy. You just don't give me both in the same day. Okay, so a lot of people, when I've told them that, they're like, ew. Okay, stop and think about that. Orange juice for breakfast, ketchup for lunch or dinner, and I would throw up. Put those two things together. That's crazy. And food intolerance. So looking back and knowing what I know now, I would say it probably was because there was too much acidity in my body. And so that's what it was. So the simplest thing to do is keep a food symptom journal. Even if it is just for a week. I suggest doing it for 30 days, but a lot of people have a hard time with that. And you track your meals, you track your mood, you track your energy, you track how your skin feels, you track how you are treating your family. And maybe have your family do it. Say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you track how you perceive me? They don't have to tell you right away, because otherwise you might get triggered throughout the month, and just have them tell you. And then at the end of the month, say, okay. And they don't have to, bash you. They can do smiley face, or they can do whatever. Keep it simple and it's not meant to be demeaning to you. It's information. So feedback is neutral. Just remember that. So what do? I would try the elimination approach. To me, that is like the simplest thing to do. And you can do it one of two ways. My suggestion is you give up one thing, just one, and don't eat it for 30 days and then intentionally eat it. So, like if you're going to give up dairy for 30 days. And then after 30 days, intentionally eat something that is high quality dairy. So, like cheese, high quality cheese. I'm not talking American sliced processed yuck. I'm talking real cheese, or ice cream that has very simple ingredients, like less than 3. You don't need too many more than that. Maybe less than 4. And then pay attention to how you feel. The other way that I've heard people do this, and I don't necessarily recommend this, but I guess it depends on how bad you feel, is you give up everything. The problem with giving up everything is, how do you know what it is that's triggering you? That's not the thing that you keep eating. You know, if you go down to eating chicken and rice, what if it's chicken and rice that you're reacting to? To me, that's not a great way to do it. Besides the fact that it's hard. It's so hard. So much easier to give up one. Then you can start trading out and figuring out what swaps you can do, and think inclusion, not exclusion, with your foods. And that is, I coach through this because sometimes you need somebody to talk to. It's very simple. It's just not always easy. And it is totally doable because I've done it more than once. So what does this ultimately come down to? Your body knows what's not working. Your body is going to tell you what is not working. You just get to listen. And when you listen, pay attention. Remember, this isn't a life sentence. This isn't meant to be horrid. It's just a clue. It's a clue. Okay, so would you rather feel good or eat the cheesecake? In the past, I probably would have told you the cheesecake. Now I know what that cheesecake is going to do to me, and it's not worth it. So for me, if I eat a piece of cheesecake, which I love, by the way, I'm going to have sinus headache, potential migraine, tremors, swollen joints, a headache if I don't have a migraine, hot flashes. So yeah, you can see that after I now know what's going to cause, thanks, but I'll pass. I'll figure out something else. Ultimately, God didn't design our bodies to suffer. They're designed to heal. And with the right fuel and the right attention, they can heal. God can heal them. And here's something that I find interesting. You may give up that cheese or the dairy. And because not all dairy is created equal, first of all, you get to find out what it is in the dairy that you're reacting to. For me, it's the casein. So I get to pay attention to that. There's certain cheeses, like I can have goat cheese. I can have most sheep cheese. Not sure if that's how you say it, but there's several things that I can do, and I'm continually learning that I don't react to as much, so they become a treat, and that's okay. Cashew milk, to me, is delicious, and it makes great ice cream. Like, I think I would eat it even if I could eat cheese. And excuse the dogs, they're going to freak out for a second. So ultimately, just remember that it is food and it's fuel. And if you're wondering where to get started, I'd love to help. You can book a 30-minute Empower You call, and we will walk through what your body may be telling you. If you just need a little nourishment for your soul, I have a free 5-day experience. But Jack, come here. Jack. Get up here. Come on. No, get up here. Anyway, this is what you get with live recordings. So, free 5-day challenge. So check it out. You don't have to feel inflamed, foggy, or fatigued forever. So let's get to the root. Let's set your body up for true healing. And let's get you feeling amazing. Okay. God loves you. I love you. And I really, truly wish you all the wellness in the world.